Commissioner Peter Lim, officers of the Singapore Civil Defence Force, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. The theme for this work plan seminar is Service and Excellence through Innovation and Collaboration. This theme is set against the backdrop of the dynamic changes to SCDF's operating environment. SCDF, as a member of the home team, has to stay nimble, constantly innovate, and adapt to the changing environment. In the coming year, we can look forward to the 4 new areas to be pursued by SCDF, namely in infrastructure, technology, public outreach, drive, and fire safety initiatives. First, on new infrastructures. The SCDF will continue to roll out its infrastructure plans. SCDF's plans have to evolve in tandem with the growth and expansion of Singapore's land use. The opening of the new Banyan Fire Station at Jurong Island this year is an example. Along with Jurong Island Fire Station, Banyan Fire Station, which also incorporates hazmat response capability, will provide comprehensive and speedy emergency response services for the whole island. Such in situ capabilities, whether it be fire station or some other facility, is vital in Singapore because response time is critical. 3 more fire stations are in the pipeline: Marina Bay, Tuas View, and Sentosa. These are targeted to be commissioned in 2011, 12, and 13, respectively. These fire stations are being built to support the changing environment of these areas to ensure that there are no operational gaps in SCDF's response to fires and emergencies in these areas. Second, new technologies. It's also essential for SCDF to use new technologies to enhance its capabilities. There are 3 major technology projects that SCDF will be rolling out in the near future. First is the enhancement of the SCDF's Public Warning System, or PWS, into a new Integrated Warning and Alert System, or IWAS for short. Commissioned almost 20 years ago, the PWS is a public warning system for imminent threats that could endanger lives and property. With the newly enhanced IWAS, emergency messages can be broadcast across additional channels such as mobile phones and the internet. This will address the current limitations of indoor coverage. Second project is the use of simulators for training. This will enhance SCDF's training capabilities, leveraging on technology such as those used in simulation software and gaming technology, supported by 2D and 3D terrain map modeling. SCDF officers will undergo a full sensory, interactive, and immersive experience with these virtual training simulators. With this technology, realistic operational situations closely resembling those that frontline officers face on a day-to-day basis will be created. This allows officers to hone their skills in a realistic and yet safe environment. The third technology project in the pipeline is the overhaul of SCDF's command and control system, known as the ACES project. SCDF had announced last year that it had awarded a $34 million contract to roll out a new command and control system in 2 years' time. The system will allow SCDF to better serve the public by improving the way 995 calls are handled and how resources are deployed. It will also allow SCDF officers better appreciation of the ground situations so that incidents can be better handled. The third area of focus is public awareness and readiness. SCDF's continued operational successes are also dependent on whether it is able to continue to rely on strong public support. Public education continues to play an important role to ensure that we are always ready and prepared for emergencies. SCDF will engage in a renewed drive on public education. In a recent public perception survey conducted by SCDF in January this year, 93% of the 1,500 respondents interviewed saw SCDF as playing a key role in the provision of emergency response services. There was, however, an area of concern. 46% of the respondents gave feedback that a lack of time prevented them from attending training lessons. This is an indication of the challenge we face. Over the years, SCDF has introduced several programs such as free emergency preparedness training and web-based education programs. We need to get people to participate in these training programs so that they can sustain their level of readiness to enable them to respond appropriately. Hence, as a further extension of its current outreach efforts, SCDF will be conducting EP awareness training programs in the heartlands from this year. This is a new partnership with the People's Association to teach grassroots leaders and residents essential emergency preparedness knowledge. Through the program, members of public will be taught EP skills such as what to do should there be a fire outbreak and dealing with unconventional threats. This program will widen SCDF's outreach to the community. The fourth major initiative this year relates to fire safety. Most people view fire safety issues seriously and participate actively in fire prevention. However, unfortunately, there are some who continue to flout fire safety rules despite knowing the dangers. SCDF has encountered cases where business operators repeatedly breach fire safety requirements, leading to increased risk to lives in the event of a fire, despite having been hauled to court repeatedly and fined numerous times. SCDF is actively looking into putting in place measures to deal with this legislatively. SCDF intends to introduce a demerit point system, or DPS, which will enable SCDF to track repeat fire safety offenders and track the appropriate enforcement actions against them. Under the new DPS enforcement framework, repeat offenders will be tracked and flagged from the outset. SCDF also intends to impose incremental punitive actions, such as requiring the offender to commit to a fire safety plan and requiring the removal of the fire hazards under supervision. If such offenders do not show improvement, we intend to press for more deterrent action, such as temporary suspension of operations when a certain threshold of repeat offenses have been reached. These proposals aim to encourage a change of mindset and instill self-discipline among business operators. We want business operators to proactively take corrective action to address fire safety gaps before SCDF has to take tougher enforcement actions against them. We will share more about DPS at a later date. While the SCDF continues to innovate and adopt, its core values remain strong. In a survey conducted by the Reader's Digest in October 2009, firefighters topped a list of 40 jobs as inspiring the greatest trust among Singaporeans. As a life-saving force, it's important for SCDF to remain true to its core mission. The SCDF has developed robustly over the years to become the highly regarded organization it is today. Let your past achievements continue to further inspire and propel you towards even greater heights in future excellence. On this note, I wish all of you a fruitful program again. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister, sir.